today is what we call a
squam date.
Ooh, looks good. It's little, it's feisty. All right guys, welcome back. So today is a very exciting day. Today is what we call a
Squam date.
It's an update on all of our baby squams, the variable bush vipers, also known as Atheris squamigera. So what we're going to show you today is
Litter 1.
Yep, the babies from the first litter,
Litter 2.
babies from our second litter, and then very exciting, we had another squam give birth. We've got a whole bunch of beautiful little babies right here that we can't wait to show you guys. That's litter 3, yeah. And we may have another one that's looking a little big in the belly. So we may have some more babies before it's over with. And then afterwards, we are gonna show you guys something really cool. We're gonna show you one of the very rare vipers that we have here in our collection. And it reminds me of Taylor a whole lot because it's little, it's feisty, and it loves to eat. That's the only time it's ever happy.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so let's get to showing them. Now, everybody has shed, everybody has pooped. This is the time we're gonna clean them. So they do have poop, they do have shed, and we've been waiting for them to shed. So they shed, they drop a big poopy, which looks like bird poop, and we'll clean it, we'll show you, and we'll give everyone some food.
Like it.
Ooh, that one's looking good. Here, bring it up here. That's just the first shed. Look how good that snake looks already. Gosh, they took some big poops.
Cutie pie.
That one's a little better behaved. That big green one's just such a jerk. Isn't that one looking pretty already? Ooh, looks good. That one's turning real nice. We just cleaned these guys the other day. And look at the size of that dookie.
It's like when I poop.
Thank you for doing all the hard work, Taylor.
Oh, you said on your phone.
It's early. It's only like 2 a.m.
I know, right?
So now that Taylor cleaned everybody, I'm going to show you guys the litters and how much they've progressed. So these guys have gone from eating little tiny pinky parts like we showed you last time to eating full-sized pinkies. So here's litter 1. Let's take a look.
Litter.
Let's take a look at litter 2. Litter 2 is doing awesome. And remember guys, we keep them in these little sandwich containers because it's so much easier to keep them clean, keep an eye on them, and then we don't just leave these laying around, we lock them in a bigger container. So this is just much easier to keep them like this, and we have a very, very, very high success rate with our baby vipers. And they really just kind of sit there on the wire. They're very, very immobile while they're babies. They're just sitting there waiting for little bugs, in their case, pinky parts, to wander on by. So here is litter 3. And these guys are tiny,
Little newbies.
little tiny worms. And unlike the other ones who are on whole pinkies, these guys are still on little tiny pinky legs. And these came from 2 colored parents, really, really beautiful.
They're all different colors.
All different colors. Yeah, this is going to be a very, very exciting litter. So, are you guys ready to see the viper that we were telling you about earlier? Her name is...
Wait, is it Sally Ragdoll? I already forgot her name.
You're the one that named her.
That
Taylor
was
names
4 years ago.
Taylor names all of our animals.
Sally Ragdoll.
Oh yeah, it is Sally Ragdoll. All right, and she is actually related to bush vipers, but she is a different species. That's the alarm. Oh, the AC is going on. Here, and take a closer look. I'll zoom in on her. How about that?
Okay, that's better.
There we go. Alright guys, so this is Sally Ragdoll. She is our Usambara eyelash viper.
But she's not an eyelash viper.
No, so typically when you see those pictures of golden eyelash vipers, that's a Central and a little bit into South America species. Usambara eyelash vipers are from a few mountain ranges in Central Africa in the country called Tanzania. It's the only place on earth that these snakes are found. And how we got Sally Ragdoll is a pretty interesting story. So I had wanted one of these for a very, very long time. They're very hard to find.
He says about every snake.
They're very hard to find because actually nobody in the United States breeds them. Years ago, somebody had imported some from Africa and they had babies. Some guy had gotten the babies, he had them for a few years. He ended up going to jail, and then the guy who inherited the snakes, when the one guy went to jail, passed them off to another guy because he owed him money. Said, hey, I'm gonna hand you off this Usambara eyelash viper. And then the guy's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. And he legally posted it for sale, and I saw it within like minutes of it being posted. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I went and purchased the Usambara eyelash viper. She was a little baby, probably about quarter this size when we got her.
That was 4 years ago.
The Usambara eyelash vipers, They are related to the bush vipers, the squams that we showed you, but they're actually much, much smaller. These guys, they max out at usually around 14 to 18 inches. These also are much more arboreal. Sally Ragdoll actually spends 99% of her time in the trees. I never see her down on the ground. Where the squams, 50% in the trees, 50% on the ground. She's always in the trees, and she also likes to be kept cooler, so that's why we have her on the bottom cage in the room. I notice when working with arboreals a lot, if their tails aren't wrapped around a branch, they're not as happy. So when she's down low and cooler, her tail's tight, she's hanging out, she's eating, feeding well.
And she eats like a beast.
And she's a little piggy. She eats very little. I actually only feed this snake about once a month to every 2 weeks at most. If she doesn't bite the food and eat it right away, then she's really not hungry. And as you can see, she actually has a very stocky body weight. We would love to be able to find a male and try and reproduce these snakes, but as far as we know, this is the last one in private collections in the United States. So if you're watching this, you're like, hey man, I've got this Usambara eyelash viper, send it over for a date.
We need a male, but we'll take females too.
Yeah.
Look how cute she is.
All right guys, so we hope you enjoyed hanging out with us and meeting our snakes, feeding our snakes. So don't forget to like, subscribe.
And hit the bell thing as Rhett does.
Hit the notification bell. Thanks guys, see you next time.